Welcome to the Chew on This podcast. Join your host, Dr. Katie Chew, and her guests as they chew on what matters, one story at a time.
Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Chew on This podcast. And I'm your host, Dr. Katie Chew. And today I have a very special friend. We've gone, how many years now back of knowing each other?
I'm going to say about maybe 23,
20.
Oh, well, our daughters are going to be 28. So
yeah.
we met them when they're 5.
So this is my beautiful friend,
Hello.
Claudia Jimenez.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So thank you for sharing this afternoon with me and with our followers. And I think, were you a little bit nervous about being invited?
I was because I feel like it's personal. And when it comes to personal, I am very emotional. And that was probably why I was more nervous than anything. But being here, I'm no longer nervous.
Oh, good. I was just going to offer a tissue box.
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I'm no longer nervous.
But if you do, then I can definitely get you one. So, okay. All right. You want to tell my audience a little bit about, what you do?
Sure. So I'm currently an economic development specialist for the city of Santa Fe Springs, and was recently promoted. I was an associate planner for the city. And so as a planner, we are heavily involved in the new developments that are coming into the city, permitting, development, speaking to investors, and just trying to find ways to make the city grow. And so that's what we do in our city of Santa Fe Springs.
Wonderful. And I know you from when our children were probably 6 years old in first grade, going to Longton Elementary School.
That is correct.
In the city of Temple City.
That is correct, yes.
And I was just sharing this a little bit about how we first met with one of my staff earlier. And here's the thing, is that both of our girls are very athletic.
Correct.
But they're also very girly girls.
That is correct, yes.
And we were both, at that time, single mothers and working full time and just trying to do our best as being parents, loving mothers to very young girls. And I think Bailey, who's my older daughter at that time, was playing baseball, co-ed baseball, and she was doing so great. But she wanted to continue playing for another season. And for me, being a single parent, I needed a time commitment, to the team. And I told my daughter that I probably can't sign her up for the following season. And as we all know, as an optometrist, seeing patients on a Saturday is a huge part of our profession. Correct. Because Saturdays is the busiest day for patients to want to book an appointment. And that's also the time where most of these games are going to be for baseball. And so at that time, I think there was a new league that was starting, a softball league in the city of Temple City.
They might have been the Astros, I think is what they were.
Yes, they were.
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
Pirates,
good memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of those two.
And so here I am, apologizing to my daughter that I probably will not be able to sign her up. And I happened to mention in passing to Claudia. And what did you say to me, Claudia?
I said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. So I, at that time, had weekends off. And so I needed to also include my daughter in activities, and she was going to be part of this team. And I thought, why not also include your daughter and have it be part? I was already picking them up and taking them. So why not just offer it? We're helping each other out. We're both single parents. So
Yeah. And, now you're getting me all like teary-eyed here. The way you showed up, and, we had just started knowing each other, right? We didn't even build a history like what we have now.
Correct.
And at that time, it's like, you're such a wonderful person, Claudia.
Oh, thank you.
You know that. And for you to offer me that wonderful, wonderful gift of saying, hey, I got you. And I'll sign Bailey up for you. and I'll take both girls to softball practice and to the games. And so thank you so much. All right, so the way we're going to be doing this is that we're going to be pulling questions.
Okay.
Hard questions from the hard choose. And these are, I don't even know if they're really hard questions, but they're more questions that are thought-provoking.
Okay.
Makes us kind of think back a little bit more about boundaries that we might have set in our lives, things that may have happened in our lives that have tested us and challenged us. Okay, and the soft choose, the questions that are going to put a little bit of a smile or maybe get a little bit of a giggle out of us. Those are the questions that are going to remind us about what are the things that are important.
Okay.
And special to us. Okay, so since you're my guest, you get to pull from the soft choose.
Perfect. Okay.
And we're each going to be answering.
So I'm asking this question to you.
You're going to be reading it out loud,
Okay.
and then we're going to each take turns answering.
Okay, here goes.
Here it goes.
What's something you're proud of right now, even if no one else sees it yet?
Do you want to go first?
I'm gonna ponder on it, and I'm
Okay.
gonna have you go first.
All right, so I do need to read that question one more time. What's something you're proud of right now, even if no one else sees it yet? I think, this is where sometimes we're put on the spot, right? And you kind of don't want to have to think too much and see what comes to your mind. And the first thing that I'm going to say is that I'm trying to build a stronger relationship with my father. And, he is 85 years old. And, I don't want it to be a cliche, where, that we may go at any time. But the reality is that when you do get up to that age, the chances are it's going to be much higher, isn't it? And so that is something that I'm quietly trying to develop more with him. And I'm not saying that I have regrets of not having a stronger relationship when I was younger, but I feel like it's because I know more now. And I understand the reasoning of letting him know more that I do love him, as a person growing up in a Chinese family, showing emotions and saying I love you was not ever around. And so now it's like, sometimes I know my father wants to say it and he's kind of hesitant because it probably feels like it's awkward. And of course, I will give him a loving nudge and then he'll say it. So that's my quiet project that I'm working on right now.
So,
yes, your turn.
Something that I'm proud right now, even if no one else sees it yet. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to set a strong foundation for my daughter and for her children and for my grandchildren, future grandchildren. In any way possible, I am doing things that are uncomfortable for me in a way, but in a positive way. Things that I wasn't raised in doing, and I'm doing it now. I'm out of my comfort zone. I think me being in a young age and being where I was at and being in an environment which was not the norm for me. I was living in Temple City, right? And my daughter was living there with me, just the two of us. And we had her in a school, and she went to Chinese school, and she did everything, right? And so that allowed me to be out of my comfort zone, and I want to continue doing that. So I'm trying everything new. I'm volunteering. I'm going to family events that are not even my family, just to learn different cultures, and then bring it back and giving it to my daughter in some way or some form. So I'm just building that foundation right now. Have it be, that, or have it be, taking care of my home or adding to my home, or just doing something that's not ordinary to me. I'm trying something different, and I hope that what I do will come back to me, hopefully this coming year, the year before, or the year after. So, yeah.
Claudia, as you're talking, I so much is going on in my head. because there were things that you said, like Janelle, that's Claudia's daughter. She went to Chinese school with my daughters.
Yes.
And you know, that was an amazing experience.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And just so you know, Janelle's not Chinese.
No, she's not.
No, she's not. And so they went through a whole entire summer,
They did.
every day, Monday through
They did.
Friday, of
They
going
did.
to Chinese school. It was literally, I think it was 6 hours.
Yeah.
Right? And she came back just...
Oh, she was
loving it.
She's loving it. Her favorite food is porridge.
Oh,
Her favorite food is
which
porridge.
is called juk in Cantonese. It's rice porridge.
Rice porridge.
And
yeah, she. I'm thankful and grateful that I got to live in Temple City and I got to meet different people.
yeah,
My daughter is a different person because of it,
yeah,
and I'm so thankful for it.
yeah,
But I need to continue to do changes in my life to better my life and better my family's.
you are, Claudia. And so that was the other thing that was going through my head as you were talking, because you and I, we've known each other for so long that we never do anything for an applause,
No.
right?
No.
It's always these quiet actions that we're always trying to model for our daughters, right? We've always been doing that. And then I've been trying to lift you, you've been lifting me, and it's just been this wonderful, wonderful relationship, right? And it's almost like, you know, when I think of it, it's like you can't raise a child alone. You can't.
Oh, most definitely.
You have to lean on others. And that's where the community, whether you want to define a community as family or friends or neighbors or the school system, whatever it is, but it does take a village to raise a child, right? But the key thing is, I think for you, is I do see it every day, that you are doing the best you can to model. And you're doing such a wonderful job. I'm so proud of you.
I feel like I'm not doing enough. Every day I try to do something
and that's
different.
okay.
Yes.
You know what? That's what's keeping you motivated, right? By telling yourself that you can still do more.
Correct.
Right? And yeah, because both you and I, we can't sit still.
No, we cannot.
We can't. We're always challenging ourselves. But it took us a while to get there, right?
I totally agree. Yeah, there was some falls. There was definitely some falls.
And we've been there for each other.
for each other.
For each other.
But it has made us who we are. We're
Yeah.
very strong women.
We are.
We are very strong women.
Yeah. Yeah. But it took a while for us to get that clarity, right? So, all right. We're on to a hard shoe.
Oh my goodness, but that was hard enough already.
All right, here we go. What's one truth you avoided for a long time because you weren't ready to act on it? What's one truth you avoided for a long time because you weren't ready to act on it?
That's a really good question.
I'm going to answer it first.
Okay.
I think the one truth I avoided was that I am able to run a business. All these years of practicing, it wasn't really until about 2 years ago, so I'm going to say 28 years of practicing, I was telling everybody, including myself, that I'm not a business person. I'm not business savvy. And yeah, you just gave me that look, but
Katie.
So did everyone else, right? But the honest truth is that I didn't believe in it, right? I looked at other people who had successful practices, and I always felt like, you know, they were the ones that were succeeding so well. And it's because they were so business oriented, business savvy. And I always felt like I was lacking. And I think about 2 years ago, one of my colleagues, you know, she had a heart-to-heart talk with me and really brought in that light that I needed to see, that I have been doing well as a business
And
person.
everyone sees it, but you didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it. And so these last 2 years, I've been acting more on it now because I see it, And so that's where this momentum of having my practice flourish even more on such a exponential level, that it is from acting on a truth that I was denying. I was in denial. I guess that's how I'm going to say it. Yeah. So it's been a wonderful ride. I can honestly say that. And these last 2 years, it's been awesome. With that clarity.
I see it.
Aw,
I see it, Katie. I definitely see it. You shine brighter every single day. You do.
I know, right?
You do. You do.
I'm learning to take these compliments, because if you had said the same thing 2 years ago, I'd be like, nah, me? No, But I'm embracing it. Yeah. Right?
I'm gonna take this
your
one.
turn.
What's one truth you avoided for a long time because you weren't ready to act on it? That I'm smart.
You are smart. Yeah. I can see you're getting a little bit teary-eyed.
So,
Who was telling you that you weren't smart?
society, family, and so I believed it for a long time.
Yeah.
But
how should I say it? You defied all the definitions that maybe other people had given you. And I think through therapy work, I have to give credit to therapy, that I was taught that I need to unlearn the things that were taught to me when I was younger. So like that's what was kind of like maybe a little bit of the noise in your life, was that you started believing these definitions that other people had placed on you. Right?
I think for me it was because I was so young and I had my daughter so young, and I started working at a really young age, and I worked to survive and to be able to cover her expenses and cover my expenses and not have to rely on anybody.
Yeah.
And I felt like what I did was just work, right? And it wasn't until maybe 15 years ago when I realized, why am I doubting myself? And I went back to school. And I realized I'm not what they think that I am. And I've proven myself. So, but that question is hard, because that was something that I've always avoided. Even though I felt like I was, but I felt like I wasn't because of what I was told. But yeah, making that change 15 years ago, and just made me stronger. It opened up a lot of opportunities for me.
Tell them what you did. When you said you went back to school, so give them a little bit more of a background.
Okay, perfect.
Because I know it. But...
So a little background of me. I had my daughter when I was 20 years old. And at the age of 23, 25 is the age that I think I met you. I moved to Temple City by myself with my daughter, which I felt very proud of at the time, because I was 25 years old.
Yeah, and you had your own apartment.
I had my own apartment with my
apartment
in Temple City.
So, okay, I'm going to tell my audience. People in my life, they always tell me that I need to be an interior designer, okay? That I have this knack for colors and fabrics and textures and all that. And Claudia, I know I've told you this before, but you were my inspiration.
Oh, Katie.
Do you remember your apartment?
Yes.
I just fell in love with that space.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
The pillows that you had, right? They were beaded, right? And you had candles galore. and the thing is that people can have candles in their homes, but she had them lit, right?
Well, you have to use them.
Yeah, but I wasn't used to that.
Oh.
And so to walk into your space, I felt like home. Yeah. And that's part of why interior designing is important for the designer, to know that when you customize a space, it has to be a livable space.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
A space that feels, is filled with warmth, love.
I agree.
And And scent is such an important thing too for that space. It's not just a visual or physical aspect. And you had all of that. So I am telling you that when people compliment me, I'm thinking to myself, oh no, it's all Claudia.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I was in banking back in early 2007, and then the market crashed, and so I lost everything. But I will say that one of the things that I learned from that was that I was in my 20s. I was in my highs, right, and then it crashed in my late 20s, and I think it was necessary for that to happen in order for me to realize that money isn't everything. Time with your family is.
Yeah.
And money comes and goes, right? It made me stronger. Yeah, it made me stronger. It made me realize the things that are important in life. And so that was one of the things that I got from there. So that question, going back to it, it was really hard, but I know my place, and I know my worth, and I know my value now because of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, just like earlier you said you knew my worth. I've always known your worth, but it's not other people's journeys, right?
Correct.
We have to discover it on our own. And so I'm glad that we're there. We're there. All right. That was a hard question. Okay. Your turn.
I don't want to cry in the hard questions.
Well, we might have happy tears coming
That's
from
true.
The soft,
That's you're absolutely right.
Chews.
You're absolutely right. Okay. So question number 3. Yes. 2. When do you feel most like yourself? No titles, no expectations, just you.
When do I feel like most myself? I'm going to have to say, I mean, obviously when I'm with my daughters, but with my family, because people, my patients, my office, they don't see the comedic side of me. I'm such a ham. I am. And so my family sees that. And but I'm slowly letting that out. So yeah, most people see me as the serious side of me, but I am the jokester. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
I mold myself when I'm with my friends. I have different groups of friends.
Yeah.
And I have friends that bring the humor out of me. And there's friends that I listen music to. Just those specific friends that I gravitate to them because of music. I love music. But I'm most myself. I feel like I'm not specifically a specific friend. Every friend that comes into my life, I'm myself. Differently, right? Differently.
Yeah.
Like I have friends where I'm constantly laughing, I'm constantly learning. I have friends that only speak Spanish, and I'm just like, what are they talking about? There's certain things that I know, but I gravitate. I'm learning. I'm myself. I'm my true self. One of the things that I wanted to say when I read this question was, when I'm walking out my door in the morning when I'm heading to work.
Wow. Wow, I love that.
I feel most myself when I'm walking out the door, because I take pride every morning to wake up early and get ready.
Yeah.
Everything. I do my hair, I do my makeup, I dress up every morning, I wear heels every morning. I'm going to work. I'm representing a city. Why wouldn't I? And I feel my best when I leave my house.
Oh my goodness.
Every
Claudia.
single morning. Even when I go to the grocery store. Even when I go visit my family. I have the same. I am my best when I am fully dressed.
Yes. Okay. So, what did you say to me when you saw me today?
I said a lot of things. The first thing I said was like, "Katie, those boots."
Okay. All right. So you probably didn't realize that you have also inspired the way I dress. No, seriously, we both have our pointy.
I love pointy shoes.
Pointy shoes.
Yeah, pointy shoes.
And that was one of the things that was so eye-catching when I first met you, right? You were 24, 25.
I was very young.
And anytime when I saw you, because we would both have to pick up our children at the after-school program, and you're running, I'm running, but you're like in these like 3-inch, 4-inch high heel pumps with the pointy, and
because it was work.
Because it was work.
It was work.
And I have taken on that same type of mentality now. I dress up every day. Every day.
And how does it feel?
It feels great.
right?
It feels great. And my patients, they appreciate it, right? And I'm sure like your colleagues at work also appreciate it. It's a feedback that I've been getting from my patients that they feel like I am dressing up for them, that I am ready to take care of them because I'm taking care of myself.
I agree.
Right? And that has spoken in such volume to me this year, because that is part of my transformation, is that I am realizing my worth and I want to show up. And I'm doing it through the way I look and the way I dress, because it makes me feel great.
Yeah.
And it's more like also when I leave the front door, it's like, bring it on.
You're right.
Bring it on, right? I'm going to toast it right now to you.
Yes.
Because, we have life, bring it on.
Have life, bring it on. Yeah, we're never promised tomorrow. So
No.
I lived every day.
Yeah.
That was my, I'll go back to that response.
So did we both answered it kind of,
did.
sort of, right? Okay, so I'm going to pull a hard shoe. How has our friendship challenged you, not just supported you?
Oh, I can answer that one really quickly.
I can answer that one too. You go first.
So how did it challenge our friendship?
Yeah, so how has our friendship challenged you, not just supported you?
I look up to you, Katie. You're one of my mentors.
Aw.
You're one of my mentors. And so I strive to be as good as you.
Oh,
I strive to be as good as you, Katie. The things that you're doing right now, the podcast, the book, I mean, your speech is like, Katie.
I know. Where did it all come from?
Katie.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I do know now.
Yeah.
It was just always so much of my life I felt like I was drowning, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was always trying to like just come up for air and just not wait for another tidal wave or something to push me back down. And I finally just realized I have to surrender and float. And that's how my life is right now, that I'm floating. It's with ease, right? And so, yeah, I think, Claudia, that's really nice of you. Yeah. So for me, how did our friendship challenged me and not supported me? I guess that's how I'm reading it. It challenged me in the sense that I want more time with you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I used to let that have me feel guilty or bad that I'm not making the effort to try to see you more often or call you more often. But now I'm at a place where I do realize that our friendship has tested time.
Oh, most.
Right? we know that.
Yes.
And I know that if time has passed where you haven't heard from me, that you're good, that you understand where I'm at. And so I think that was the challenge, was having to let that guilt go, because I realized that you're a real friend and that you're never going to judge me.
No.
Based on, you know what I'm saying? Because life is so busy.
Yes, it is.
And, but we're always cheering each other on.
We are. I mean, when we met, we didn't have social media. Now we have social media. I know. I always see the things that you're posting as well, and I post a little here and there. But I mean, we may not be talking every single day.
Yeah.
But I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, I know what your daughters are doing.
Yeah.
You know, I'll text them here and there and send them a little message here and there.
Yeah.
Especially Coco.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So with Coco's my younger daughter, and she's the one that's in the military, and you would have never thought.
Coco.
Coco.
My parents know Coco. My parents look Coco. Coco was always at our house. You know, we would take her with. We would go to Disneyland. We would go eat.
Yeah.
I mean, she was part of our family. So was Bailey.
Yeah. But remember,
so seeing her now.
Well, remember, back then, Bailey was always that independent spirit, right? I mean, and Cody, not that she wasn't an independent spirit, but she was also where everybody also wanted to take care of her.
Yeah.
Right?
She was a baby.
She was a baby. And so everyone would want to like carry her so that she doesn't have to walk so much. And I think even at Disneyland, she's like, carry me. And everyone was fighting over carrying her.
Yes.
So.
Oh, she didn't walk. She definitely didn't walk.
Yeah, well, and now we're talking about a Marine that needs to carry a 60 to 70 pound pack and hiking for like 14 miles. Yeah, she doesn't need anyone to carry her anymore.
I'm so proud of our girls. I'm so proud.
I know.
Very proud.
Is it? Okay, I think we tackled that one pretty well. So you do an easy one now.
Okay, here it goes. What does being safe feel like to you? Emotionally, spiritually, and relationally?
I have to read that. What does being safe feel like to you, emotionally, spiritually, or relationally? That's a word that I don't really see that often. You want to go or you want me to go? At least it says or, because if it says and, then we have to answer all three. And
what does being safe feel like to you?
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Okay. For me, I think right now, I feel safe spiritually. I'm gonna hit that one because I came to a place just very recent, and I told one of my friends just yesterday. I told him that it was him and another colleague of ours that in January they were sending me scripture in the morning through a text message. They guided me on a leadership Bible. This was all at the beginning of this year, and they knew that I was a newbie, and to have that type of support system coming from, colleagues in our industry, I think that really made a difference. And I thanked him yesterday for that. And so I think that's how I'm going to answer this question, is because not that I didn't feel safe, but I didn't feel at peace until I connected spiritually. And that's where I am. I feel very, very content, and I don't feel anxiety. And I know that if today is my last day, I am good.
Yeah.
I am good.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. Yeah. That was supposed to be an easy one.
Yeah. I'm going to say spiritual as well. I'm in a good place in my life right now. I'm in a really good place in my life right now. I have no stress that I know of. I'm happy being home. I love being around my daughter and my family. I love going to work. I love taking hikes just by myself and just being thankful for everything that I have so far and where I'm at.
You have a beautiful life, Claudia.
Oh, it's taken time.
Yeah.
It didn't happen overnight.
And you got your own home.
I got my own home. I purchased it during the pandemic.
Oh, but it's so beautiful. The amount of work.
And I haven't stopped. I'm still continuing doing it.
Yeah, but that work that you put into your home is a love. It's a work coming from love, from your heart, right?
My home has a story behind it. I don't know if you want me to share the story.
I don't know which story.
So the story is when I purchased it and the whole process of me purchasing it, and the person who owned it before I did, he was the first owner, and he was 88 at the time when I purchased it. But he was going through early signs of dementia, and he was in a nursing home, no family whatsoever. And a blessing, I guess it was, that I received. And as part of that blessing, I have to be thankful. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to obtain a home during that time by myself with my daughter. I'm blessed every single day, and I'm thankful to him. I'm thankful to him. So
And we had a beautiful birthday celebration.
we did.
and it was in, I don't even want to call it a backyard. It was
It's a park.
It was a
I
park,
call it the park.
or like a oasis, a garden, or
Yeah.
I don't. It was just so
I've done
beautiful.
so much work to that home. I purchased
It
it with
was
just
beautiful.
dirt in the back.
Yeah.
Just dirt. And I thought, well, if I want to be sane and not have dirt come into my home, I have to do something different. So I took care of it. But yeah, it's never ending.
Yeah.
It's never ending. But definitely spiritually.
Mm.
Yeah, spiritually.
See, that's another thing why we connect, right? Okay, so let me go ahead and pull one out here. So this is from the hard choose. What's something you once believed about yourself that you no longer agree with, and what changed it? Okay, this is hard.
Ooh, that's a good one. Can you read that again?
Yeah, what's something you once believed about yourself that you no longer agree with, and what changed it? You want to go? You go.
So being a woman.
Yes.
The first thing that I thought was being a woman is you're challenged a lot, and you're made to believe that you're not capable of doing certain things because you're a woman. So I've worked and I've tried to be able to no longer think that way and think that I'm an equal to someone else who's not also a woman. And it's taken me a while, and now I've realized that I'm equal. I'm an equal. I'm not below. I'm an equal. That's probably one of the things for me. Let me see.
So at that point when you were, still learning about yourself, did you feel like you always had to prove yourself?
Most definitely.
Yeah, but you don't need to anymore. You realize that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It took me a while.
Exactly.
It took me a while to be able to realize that I shouldn't be thinking that way. I shouldn't. But
I think that's part of the things that we start to unlearn, because these limitations, I think, were maybe put upon us, maybe from our parents, or maybe it was a generational thing or a cultural thing, whatever it is, right? But I think we're slowly, redefining things for us, right? That we know that what we were taught in the past, it doesn't have to be that way, right? And so I'm trying to still think about how I'm going to answer this one. What's something you once believed about yourself that you no longer agree with? I think I'm going to have to go back to me thinking that I wasn't a business person, but it goes a little bit deeper. I think it had to do with a lack of confidence. I always felt like somebody else was always better than me. And it didn't even really have to be just business, right? And like even with math, I think remember going through school, and even though I tested, to be gifted in math, I still struggle with math today. And I keep telling myself that I'm not good with numbers. And it's quite interesting how that is something I'm still struggling with. But it's, and I just have to understand what my limitations are. And it's the way my brain functions. I am good with math, but it comes with the ability to retain numbers in my head, and to be able to move numbers in my head and be able to make calculations in my head that I can't do. And that's why I always felt like if there was always a pressure, if I'm working out something with somebody else and they're able to like add it up quickly in their head, for me, it's like I need to write it out and I need to see it. And sometimes, to be honest, I've never said this out loud, but I would actually be counting with my fingers.
But there's nothing wrong with writing it down.
No, but but literally I would have to be counting it with my fingers.
Which is okay.
And then sometimes, if I don't have enough fingers, I would actually be moving my toes
Really?
in my shoes, even as an adult. to be able to get enough of the counting done and then be able to.
What are you counting?
Well, it's like if I'm doing math or something.
I'm like, that's a lot of numbers.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Katie.
I'm just letting you know. So these are just learning mechanisms or coping mechanisms that I've had to like use to appear that I can do it just like somebody else. But I always felt like I'm not like somebody else, and I always felt I was less than. Yeah, but I'm changing that. I'm voicing it out now to let people know. Like you didn't even know that, and this is the first time I'm sharing it. That even with numbers, I've started sharing that I have difficulty in reading words, but it's also with numbers. And so, but look at me, right? I even, despite all that, I am exactly where I should be at.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I tell my daughter, we are our biggest critics. We are. We are our biggest critics. Nobody else sees it. Only we see it. Yeah. We're our biggest critics.
Yeah.
And unlearning that is really hard, but we are, and we shouldn't.
Yeah. And so like you never knew that I had issues with math. People didn't know that I had issues with being able to read a page out of a book, but now they know. And I think that is helping me. That is giving me so much more acceptance that I am good. Yeah. I am good. So, all right, that was a hard question. Go ahead and pull out a soft.
Let's see what this one says. What's one habit, ritual, or thought that helps you reset when life feels heavy?
That's a hard.
I know mine.
You know yours? Okay, you're going to go for it, and you're going to pass that question to me. But as you're talking, I'm going to go ahead and read this again to me.
First thing that came up was therapy shopping.
Oh.
Therapy shopping.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Therapy shopping for me.
I got a little bit of a taste of that 2 years ago. And I did it again this year in terms of therapy shopping. Then I saw how large the credit card bill was. I'm like, I got to nip that one quickly. But I think for me, what's one habit, ritual, or thought that helps you reset when life feels heavy? I think for me is having coffee. Coffee.
Really?
Yeah, having coffee. That ritual, first thing in the morning, and at work, we have a coffee pot, but I kind of don't really want that aroma to be like flowing into the exam rooms and all that. So we don't have any coffee at my practice, but as soon as I get home, I'll have a cup of coffee with my dinner, and then one more before going to bed. So I will have at least 3 cups. Really? And if it's on the weekends, easily 4 to 5 cups of coffee. I love my coffee. And it's not anything where I'm going to say that if I don't have it, that I start getting moody or jittery. You know what I mean? Like having withdrawals from the caffeine. I don't get that. But when I do have it, I just feel so relaxed and so comfortable.
I love that for you.
Oh, I love it too.
That for you.
Oh yeah. I feel so like almost like in a dream state where I'm so relaxed that I can just go to sleep. Which I know for most people nowadays, caffeine does the opposite, and they kind of have to stop early. Mm-hmm. But I'm so thankful that I can still have that moment with my coffee. Yeah.
The therapy shopping, what I do is I do it with friends from work. Sometimes we just go and don't buy anything. We just take off for lunch and we just go and we just walk. Oh. And then we come back. Yeah. But we do it at least twice a month, maybe at most. Yeah. And that's what we do. And it helps because we're talking and we're laughing.
Oh, fun. Can I join you guys?
Oh my goodness, it's great. We'll just get ideas of how we want to do certain things and what the next fashion's going to be. So we'll go in there, we'll do some shopping, just window shopping more than anything. But to add to that, for me, on my own, what I do is I love hikes. I go on hikes by myself when I want to reset. And and I need to go back to it again. I just did a hike yesterday with my daughter.
Oh, nice.
And I haven't done one in over a year, and I feel it now. I definitely feel it. But I enjoy doing hikes just on my own. Listen to some really beautiful music and just walk and just take everything in and just be thankful for everything that I have every single day. And I don't need to have anybody with me. I can just be by myself and just walk. And that makes me reset just for myself, my own personal being.
So I know this is not part of the question or answering the question, but just when you were talking about going on hikes with yourself, I am putting a challenge to myself for this year or for 2026 that I am going to take myself out on a date. I'm going to dress up, which I normally do anyways, but I am going to book myself a reservation at a nice restaurant and take myself out for a nice ribeye and be with myself and be fabulously okay with it. Yeah. And what always plays back in my head is I'm just wondering what are the conversations that other people are having at their tables, right? Because they're probably with a significant other, right? Or maybe with a family, and they're enjoying their dinner at a nice steakhouse, and they're probably looking at who's that lady there just eating on her own, and I'm going to celebrate it. I'm going to celebrate it. And that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. For 2026.
For 2026. And once I do it, I think I'm going to do it more often.
No.
But I just haven't done it yet.
Janelle does them a lot. Janelle does, my daughter Janelle, she does, she goes out to dinner by herself. She goes to the movies by herself. She's gone to concerts by herself. And concerts not just in California. She has taken a flight.
Wow.
To a different state for the weekend by herself. Goes on hikes. Everything by herself. Yeah. She's doing it and she's happy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do eat lunch, on my own, especially like on a work day and all that. I'll go to a restaurant and have lunch or whatever. But, to take myself on a date, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm
Does the date bring you flowers? Are you going to bring yourself some flowers?
My goodness.
You have to.
Well, you know
Give yourself some flowers.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yes.
I am going to be playing it up all the way through.
Get yourself a new outfit.
Yes, I will.
Why not?
Why not? Yes. All right. So I think we both answered this one, and I am going to pull the last question out of the hard shoes.
Okay.
And then are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. We haven't had any tears yet. Well,
I had almost.
Okay. Here we go. When have you stayed silent even though your voice mattered? And what did that silence cost you? Oh, this is tough. When have you stayed silent even though your voice mattered? And what did that silence cost you?
A divorce. I was silent for 10 years. And when I went back to school, I found my voice again. I found my voice. And it caused me my divorce.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought about when you read that question. I'm
happy for you
right
now.
Thank you.
It's not easy to go through a divorce. But I also know the circumstances of what you had to endure, and it was a lot.
It was.
But it made you, it sounds like a cliche, but it did make you stronger. But you've always been strong. It just, you refound your voice.
Yeah, right. What I see now is it was part of my chapter. It was part of my book. And there was a chapter in my book. And it was a chapter that I was good and was bad, right? And that chapter's closed now. Now I'm on going into chapter 49 this coming year in March. And I think things happen for a reason in your life. They're life lessons. And that was a life lesson that I had. And all I got to do is just learn from it.
Wow. I loved how you just called it a life lesson. because we all hear about chapters, right?
Mhm.
People use chapters, to talk about the different phases of their life and all that. But a life lesson,
It's a life lesson.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's where sometimes people might get stuck in their life, is because they haven't seen the lesson from that.
Mhm.
And once you realize that there was something to learn from, that's what propels you to move to the next chapter, right? It's you have to realize there is always something to learn from. And then once you get that messaging, that's yeah. For me right now, I think it is through my divorce. And it was my divorce from Andrew. Okay. And we all love Andrew.
Yeah, we do.
We all love Andrew. And I to this day, he is still in my heart, I believe. He is a soulmate. And in life, I think we can have more than one soulmate.
Mhm.
And he is such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person. But I needed to divorce him for the reasons that you know, and I didn't realize it, but that divorce happened in 2020, and look at where I am now. Yeah. I always thought that my marriage with him, that I did have a voice. We had a loving partnership together. That's how I saw it. And so I felt like we had a voice together, right? But after learning about, the things that he was, it's hard for me to say this. The things that he had demons in his life. And I realized that, those are his demons. Right. They're not my demons. Right. But I was willing to be there with him during the entire marriage. But when those demons were so overpowering, that I had to learn that I need to take care of myself. I was losing myself in that marriage, and I didn't see it until now. So in these 5 years of not being part of that marriage, I have also found my voice, right? And that's why you see it too, right? And but it's just so strange how things are like that. When my marriage with him, I thought everything was great, if that makes sense. Yeah. And but now things are even better by not being in that marriage.
You still have his friendship. He's still there.
Yes. Yes. And and I realized that his demons are his demons. They're not something for me to try to help save him. It's not my job. Yeah. And but I am there to support him as a loving friend. Yeah. And I think that's where, I'm good, and he's good too with that.
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
I think everybody sees it. And so, I never want to shed any dark light on him, because he has a lot to bear. And now I'm getting teary-eyed. I'm trying not to cry here, but you understand. Yeah. And so, all right, I'm going to take a deep breath, and I might have to start having some closing thoughts right now, just because I am getting teary-eyed. Oh my goodness.
This is what I was worried about.
I don't even have a tissue box here. So today's episode, I have to say this, Claudia. This was a heavy one. It was a heavy one in terms of emotions. And I thought we did pretty well in terms of containing our tears, even though I know the camera can't see it, but both of us, I can see it welding in her eyes, and mine are too right now. And I just want to say to everybody that the lessons that both Claudia and I shared today, hopefully maybe one of you or many of you can have some of what we've said, resonate with your own personal lives, or even professional lives. And that is why this Chew on This podcast came about, is that I really do believe that we are here for a reason, for a purpose. And so if you can each day try to see your life more clearly, live your life more purposefully, then that allows you to be able to lead to your fullest capacity and lead boldly. So to all of you, until next time, so have a good day. Bye.